First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very happy to speak on behalf of recruiters and also on behalf of experts who have landed a job recently in Finland. Uh, I'm not new to, let's say, recruitment in Finland. I have been here already 4 years recruiting for Nordics. But recently I was also in that situation where I was looking for the new position. So there all of you can relate. And I will try my best to share all the tips I could. And of course, as I mentioned, I will leave lots of time for you to ask me questions, tips, etc. I will tell a few words. I will start sharing now, and I will firstly tell a few words about myself. So I'm Marina, and I'm a technical and I'm a R&D recruiter. I have master's degree in financial law, and I have 6 years teaching maths and science in China. So those may be more like a fun facts about me rather than representing my career at the moment. But yes, now I have started recruitment in 2021, and now I have been hiring for telecom business, then software, so all types of engineers, also business support roles, also all types of business support roles. Most of my work life I spent in doing interviews, also different types of interviews, and in my free time, if you can call it free time activity, I still study Finnish. So it takes me about 10 hours, 10 extra hours a week. And to recharge my batteries, I go for long runs, yoga at the weekend, Nuksio parks. So yes, that's my way to relax in Finland. Then what I want to tell today is about the first interview, how to prepare for it, how to negotiate salary, and how to use ChatGPT, how to use it wisely, how to identify required skills, what to write on your CV so that the HR will notice your CV. And also you can see the QR code. You can, of course, add me on LinkedIn and write that you met me here at this event. So that's how we could start our conversation. Yes, feel free to leave the feedback if you like something or did not like about my sharing. And I also want to mention that today I'm not sharing on behalf of any companies. I'm purely sharing my own experience as a recruiter and again as an applicant in Finland. Just a little sound check. Lydia, do you hear me well and do you see my slides well?
Yes and yes.
All right, good. Then I will start talking about this uncertain situation. I believe all of us, we have been in this situation when we are waiting for the first job interview. Some of us are sitting like that at home. Some of them, some of us are all in online settings thinking how to prepare, how to nail it. And I will be sharing those tips and tricks. And I want to tell about the importance to prepare for this first round. Some of us, we call it HR interview. Some of us, we call it first round screening call. Your task is always the same. Get ready because only 2% of applicants, according to LinkedIn statistics, are selected for the second interview. So you know the odds. Then the things that I myself check before the interview, and I suggest you check before the first call, like let's say with HR, hiring manager, whatever it is. But please do go and check the company main products. If it says that it's an IT company, go and check those IT products, at least few words, right? Like write for yourself that one sentence so you know what exactly you are applying for. Then check company values. Uh, it really matters. Make sure those all also match with your own, whatever it is. If company is client centric, is companies valuing the work life balance, company is sales driven, you really need to know this before you even start that discussion. Latest news, again, it's very important to go online and check those latest news if the company has been on news recently. And I can tell you from my own experience as a recruiter, I have asked this question, especially when it came to the business support roles, like sales roles. I was asking my candidates, what do you think about the recent news? The person who did not do the homework well, let's say so, told me, yes, great news. But yeah, from the knowing the reality at that time, I was actually asking about the company which was struggling. And a candidate who told me that he or she read the good news, I already automatically knew that the person did not simply prepare for this call with me. I cannot say that that was a reason for me not to continue, but still tells something about the person. And if it's a client-centric role, so you know how the person will be handling those conversations and how we'll be preparing for the meetings with the clients, not just the clients, any meetings, I guess. Are the relevant details for your role? As a recruiter, of course, I will be checking relevant details from me. I will be going and checking which positions the company hires for. I will be checking the people who are in a similar role as I'm applying to. So I really suggest you do the same. But no reason to be also scared by some unknown words or some areas that you have not worked with. Just do your research. If you're invited to that first round, then there is already something that the recruiter has seen in your profile. Also, something that I suggest you practicing, and no matter how many times we talk about this, introducing yourself, there is still many people make the same mistakes. Some people, they start telling the whole career or life story, and I suggest you to keep it short. And the best practice will be following the recruiters or hiring managers example. Just listen to the other person introduction, do the same. No need to have a long monologue, let's say 5 minutes monologue, unless you are asked to do so. And when you are answering questions, I think using STAR method while framing the answers to the questions is really important. I'm not sure if you heard about it. I think recently more and more people learn about this STAR method. I will tell you what it means. So basically, when you're asked about your experience in a certain domain, you should frame your answer by telling about the situation, relevant situation in your experience, then telling about the task that was given to you or to the team. The task can be described as the task was given to the team, but then actions, talk about your own. So tell recruiter, tell hiring teams the steps that you have taken, the actions, the things that you have done. Try to avoid this phrases and statements, we, because you are the one who is being interviewed. It's not the team who is being interviewed. It's good to mention other people who are involved, but talk again about your impact. Otherwise, you never know. Maybe the recruiter will go and contact your teammate. Let's say it's a joke, but maybe not even a joke, right? You never know those recruiters. Then talk about results or the outcomes. Was there any? It's of course good to mention if there was any deadline when you're working on this task that was given to you or the project. But yes, results are quite important. And again, emphasize your own results. Something that you learned there, it's also good to mention. Challenges that you had there, good to mention. But yes, being structured is the key. Then practice announcing your salary expectations. Let's say sensitive, but don't make this topic sensitive in your interview process. So practice announcing your salary expectations. First of all, do that with confidence, without any giggles. And actually, when preparing this presentation, talking about and announcing our salary expectations, I checked online what suggestions are there, and I found this slide. And I decided to, not a slide, a little, let's say, tips on negotiating your salary. And I just want to comment here. The first suggestion was to resist giving out the first number. Basically, you cannot give the number first to the recruiter. I will say I would disagree to this one. First of all, resistance is the wrong approach in any negotiation. And then I want to say, from the recruiter's point of view, from the applicant's point of view, there's nothing wrong with giving out the first number. You just have to do a little research before and give a reasonable number. In most cases, you already know how much you should be paid for the job you're applying for. If not, ask for the salary range, ask for suggestions. The recruiter is there to guide you. The hiring team is there to guide you. And the second suggestion here was to use the data to choose a salary range. I have a little correction here. Use the correct data. And as a recruiter, I have heard this many times from candidates. My friend who works in the same position earns this much. Or the salary survey in Finland shows this result. I would say the salary surveys, they are unreliable due to several reasons. First of all, you need to understand that to do the salary survey is a long process. And then all the data that you are reading now, if it says 2025, that means that they started collecting that data, I hope, at the beginning of 2025, maybe 2024. You understand how many changes there have been in the industry. And you also need to look at this salary survey, which companies were asked for their salaries, if they are in the same business, if they are a product company, if they are a startup company, what level of development it is for this company, etc. So maybe in Finland, the best source, if you are in this complete uncertain state, going to TEK trade union. This is the Union of University Educated Engineers, Architects and Scientists, and checking there the TEK trade union, it provides the guidance to engineers, architects and scientists, and also to the companies about the payment, and go from there. Looking at salary surveys, there's nothing wrong with that, but just keep in mind something that I said earlier. Consider saying no. I would say consider saying yes, again, being positive. Think about what this job can, how this job, how this position, how this company can affect your CV, your portfolio. So at the same time, saying no is fine. If you see no value, if you heard something that let's say, triggers you during the interview process, if there are any red flags, saying no is completely fine. And it's also okay to tell a recruiter about the reasons why you are rejecting their job offer. If it's salary, if it's something else, just be honest. But there's also this, don't forget about benefits, and I would not also forget about opportunities. I believe that in every position, almost in every company, there are some non-financial incentives, and those are different for all of us. Sometimes we accept the job offer because we want to broaden our network. We want to learn a new tool. We want to work in some challenging project that we can really have that experience from that certain company. So yes, think about non-financial incentives. So not only money is something that we need to take into account when accepting the offer. And then about questions that you ask. And I want to tell that it's quite important to have 1 or 2 questions for each round of interviews that you enter. Think about these questions before. Don't ask the same question. Be serious about it. And it's good to ask about day-to-day responsibilities if those are unclear. So ask them during the first interview with the recruiter, or ask recruiter who can clarify these day-to-day responsibilities to you later in this interview process. Also, it's important not to be shy about asking about this hiring process. How does it look like in your company? Just simply ask this. How many interviews do I have to attend to succeed? It's a very good question, and most of the candidates, they really don't know. If you ask the person who is in the recruitment process with a certain company, the candidate will say, yes, I have had 1 interview and I don't know how many more to expect. It's good to really clarify this during the first conversation you're having with the recruiter. And then ask about possible challenges in this role. And here there's an opportunity for you to basically learn more about the place you're applying to and listen carefully to hiring team's answers. And something that's okay to happen during the interview, it's definitely okay to wear casual clothes, and it's okay to be nervous. I want to tell that I'm equally nervous when I'm a recruiter and when I'm a candidate. When I'm an applicant, I sometimes think, I have had so many good candidates. I don't know how they can answer those questions so well and how they can get this job so easily, because I really get nervous when I'm on the other side of the screen. And then it's also okay not to answer all recruiters' questions. It's okay to ask clarifying, ask to repeat. Of course, ask this nicely. All of us are people, and maybe we don't understand the question or cannot hear it clearly. It's good to know that we are answering the right one. And then this question to use ChatGPT or not to use ChatGPT. I think all of us are adults and we are very smart nowadays. We know that AI is, and here by ChatGPT, I mean any other AI as well. So AI is only a tool and you should use it wisely. But one suggestion, like a really strong suggestion, an opinion I have here, don't use any AI when you're having an interview. It's really visible. I have seen people reading answers when their eyes are running there, and then when they're typing, I know that someone is trying to frame and sound smarter, maybe. It really does not help. Do all the prep work before. And then where you can actually use again, ChatGPT, any other AI for the one you prefer, to basically identify better required skills. Use this performance-based approach when you are just reading the job description. So when you're researching the company, you can use AI, of course, and ask AI different questions differently. What questions can I expect for this role? So you can basically put the job description there and ask AI to frame all the questions that will be asked based on this job description that the company posted online. And my next suggestion will be turning this public job description to a performance-based job description. Turning to a performance-based job description means if you're reading a public post that it's the sales, we are looking for the sales-driven specialist, the performance-based job description, if you turn it, ask AI turn your job description performance-based, it will be money you have earned for the company, clients you have brought to the company, and then based on this performance-based, match your achievements. So basically, if you're a salesperson, right there, how much money you earn, how many clients you brought. As a recruiter, of course, I will tell how many people I hired. As a programmer, I will tell how many lines of code I have written, maybe how many processes I have automated. As a scientist, I will tell how many articles I have written, how many conferences I attended, how many views I have on my article. As a marketing person, I will tell how many campaigns I have organized, how many products I have released as a product owner, let's say, etc. So just always write those numbers there. Your achievements should be in the person who's talking to you needs to know what you have done. It should be quantified. And then about perfect CV, I want to tell there's no perfect CV and there are no keywords that get recruiters' attention. There is no magic. But one suggestion, do not send the same CV and the same cover letter to each company. It's very visible. And then try to tailor it a bit. So basically mirror the job title that you're applying for the job. So make sure that you have similar job title in your own CV that you're applying to. Of course, it should be truth, not just mirroring any job title. But this is the key. The recruiter will look first if you had a relevant experience for the job that you're applying to. It's very important to build this core skills section wisely. Don't put there every tag you have heard of. Don't put there too many skills. Don't put there all this public speaking, nice with people. So don't put these general phrases, only like real skills, applicable skills for the role. You can find them again in this job description that you're applying to. And as I mentioned earlier, I always emphasize on this part, show numbers that represent your results. So mention their revenue increase, for instance, that you brought for the company. Efficiency, if you improved any process, tell I have improved this process in this company. Write it there in your CV shortly. Write about the project completion speed. Let's say that I have completed this in double the time shorter than my colleague. Team size, it's good to let know the new company in which team you have worked before. And of course, if you have delivered any training sessions, workshops, mentored someone, it's good also to mention there. And use standard section titles. Again, don't be too creative with your titles. If I'm a talent acquisition specialist, I will most likely write in my CV that I'm a recruiter because I think this is the most standard phrase. You also need to try to use the standard titles and choose the right file format when you're submitting your CV and cover letter. And also very good when you're writing the cover letter, if you're applying for the job in Finland or I believe in any other European country, don't use this Mr. Recruiter or Mrs. Recruiter. It's so irrelevant and looks so strange. It's just not used. I have not hired for US, I want to say, but in Europe, if you are referring to someone, Mr. and Mrs., this is a bit unusual. Just tell hello, hiring team, hi, Googlers, or any other company members. With the greetings, we are a bit, let's say, we're not so casual, but not that formal that it requires Mr. and Mrs. there. And then I want to tell you that here I wrote HR, but it's also recruiters. They are approachable, they're helpful, they're supportive, and then you can ask for that support. You can always ask for assistance, you can ask for advice, and you can be honest, try to be honest, transparent, respectful, and remember that we recruiters also change companies. So you never know where this recruiter will go after this company, which roles he or she will be handling. You want to stay in touch and you want this person to remember you as a good candidate, even if you did not pass that interview. So yeah, I think I'm good with my monologue.
Thank you a lot. It was really great. I even made some notes after you. Amazing. Is it okay if we start with questions now?
Sure, sure.
As a recruiter, are you checking social networks of applicants, for example, Facebook or Instagram?
Never. I have never had this practice, and I have not heard any of my colleagues would be going to any social networks other than LinkedIn.
When you have this first interview, should you, for example, prepare slides presenting some projects you have done with details?
I have not seen this practice other than R&D open roles, and then when it's required by the hiring team, then it's good to prepare the presentation. It's better to confirm um, before before entering the interview. Of course, you can prepare the PowerPoint presentation for yourself if it helps you to be more systematic and structured. But don't, I would suggest not pushing that on hiring team unless they ask for it.
You? Is it okay to postpone the salary discussions until progressing to further rounds? What will company prefer?
Sorry, there was some network interruption and I could not hear the first part.
Is it okay to postpone the salary discussion until progressing to further rounds? What will company prefer?
It's okay. Um, I believe it's fine. At the same time, I don't I don't understand what's the reasoning behind this. I understand the statement when the candidate tells that I need to see how what the role actually looks like, what are the real responsibilities. It's fine, but I would also guide again. It depends if it's the recruiter on this first discussion or the hiring team. It's really good to guide this person who is asking for this salary information, and they are not asking this out of curiosity. There is a reasoning behind that as well. So yeah, maybe you tell that we can really get back to this concrete number later, but yeah, first give a range at least. Give your minimum and tell what's your goal. That would be probably the best.
And how would you react if I return this question to you? And what is your salary range if you ask me about my salary?
Yeah, totally fine. I think it's very normal that the candidate would not know what to expect and asks the recruiter, "Could you guide me, please?" Very normal question. Yeah, I will just announce the salary range. And yes, for most companies, we also have a little bit of flexibility, not for all roles. Sometimes there is just a certain number, then we tell that.
Is it recommended to dive deeper into compensation and benefits during the first screening round? Or would it look like the candidate is only there for perks, for the perks?
I think it's totally fine to ask for more details. If you're interested, why not? Uh, like, yeah, I would maybe not make it the most mm, important part of the interview. But why not to hear about other, let's say, benefits, incentives that company has to offer? It's also for us to consider if we accept the offer and if we want to continue. Um, Here I want to talk on both behalves as a recruiter and as a candidate. All of us are busy. The companies are busy and want to have the best talents. We are also busy with our times. So yeah, I want to know from the first round, like I would not be too demanding, but I would ask questions. Why not?
And as a recruiter, are you using some AI tool or tools to filter CVs before you go manually?
Of course, nowadays I think it's not like I use the AI to filter CVs, and from my previous experience as well, um, it's the thing is all modern tools uh, it has AI included there, incorporated there. So we do get, let's say, some suggestions. Uh, but I have not been relying only on AI. I can, of course, look at those filters that are suggested by AI, but no, I do not rely, let's say, blindly incorporate. We do incorporate AI, yes, but not like relying on AI's judgment while screening candidates.
So are you saying that you are going through every application manually still?
In fact, we do go manually a lot. There's lots of manual work for recruiters, yes.
Thank you. I think that's the biggest that's the biggest question. It happens every time we get it every session because I think
Mm.
there is a rumor that recruiters are evil, they're using AI and AI just rejects me immediately and it's because I'm not using all the keywords, not doing keyword stuffing. That's why I expected this question and it came.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I want to tell that most likely recruiters would want to even use or automate, um, let's say, filtering process, but we are quite greedy when it comes to our candidates. So I know it from the other side as a candidate, it seems like you're just getting rejections, but at the same time, from the recruiter's point of view, we're still not getting those candidates that we want. Our hiring volumes are high, and then we don't want to miss the candidates. So yes, we don't rely purely on AI, and I don't know. mm, I'm in my practice, I have been always afraid of losing candidates. So yeah, I do lots of manual work. Same I have seen from my colleagues from many companies. Yeah.
And imagine an applicant is in the interview process and HR or a hiring manager asks a question that's not structured. How to approach answering that?
That happens really often. I have seen this when let's say hiring teams are also having those people who are not ready for the interview. And it's good to ask, clarify the question. So ask multiple times. Ask, is this something that you mean? Yeah, clarifying questions. As many as it needs for you to answer the question.
Is it okay to send connection requests on LinkedIn to HRs or hiring managers before the interview?
Very normal, and I think it does not affect the process at all. And it should not. It does not give you any, I would say, it's not like beneficial or suggested. It's okay.
And a very interesting question. I love it. If a recruiter asks you, is there any other job interview process or recruiting process you are going through? How to answer this question and how does it affect your decision?
It's good to answer this question honestly, and it's good to tell that yes, at the moment I'm in the recruitment process with two other companies, and as a recruiter, I take this information as it is. The person is in a recruitment process, and I might take that information into account if possible. Of course, I would, let's say, speed up if there is a reason for that. But it would not be a wrong thing to be honest and tell that now I'm so is there's no disadvantage to that, and I would suggest telling this to the recruiter.
I think also understanding why it's being asked helps a lot. I can give an example. For example, my husband got an offer in 1 week, going through
Yeah,
all stages of interviewing because he already had an offer from one company and the final stage in another company. So
yeah,
the company that really wanted him, they went through all, I think, 4 stages in 1 week because
yeah.
of that, right? That's the reason that the question is asked.
Are we asking someone who is
Yeah, I'm asking you, is that the reason why companies ask this question?
not really? I would say I ask this in I like let's say I try to include this as a part of my admin questions, same as location, same as salary expectations. I just want to know if uh, basically in terms of time management, um, and of course if there is a niche talent and I will hear that the person in a recruitment process with our companies, most likely I will try to speed up. It's normal, uh, but yes, also telling a recruiter that you are in offer stage with two other companies. Uh, mm, if it it might be so that it will not have any effect, but good to be transparent. I think like being transparent is the key.
I like it being honest. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Would it be okay to say in the interview that I'd be happy to do a work trial, or could that sound too desperate?
Like a work trial, like unpaid internship, or
I think that's what it means.
we- it's. I don't think it sounds desperate, but if the company does not have any internships, then it's just simply impossible.
Also, it came to my
Sorry,
mind if
there's some
you're
connection issue.
someone else is experiencing some connection issues.
Nope.
No, no, no. Okay, thank you. Marina,
Yeah, now.
are you here?
Yes, yes, now I can hear.
I think another
Yeah,
angle to this question is if a person is already invited to an interview. So it means there is a budget for the role. Is it right?
but what does it mean, like to do unpaid job or?
If you ask this question, and if you would like to unmute yourself to clarify that, please feel free to do that. But according to how I understand it, it's an unpaid työkokeilu. supported
Mm.
by the employment office?
All right. In that case, there should be if the company has first of all, it's good to check with the company, with the recruiter, if they have such possibility, if they have such practice. And yeah, in that case, why not? Just check case by case, and no, it does not sound desperate. Yeah,
Mhm.
very normal question, but yeah, I have not had those positions where I had on any unpaid jobs or internships. It just happened that I have always worked for the companies where internships, even 1 month, 2 months internships, they were paid.
That's we all hope that would be the norm
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. Another question. What advice would you give to junior software developers who don't yet have many numbers of measurable achievements to show, especially when their previous experience comes from a completely different field?
Yeah, hobby projects. It's an answer to software developers. First, hobby projects. Start writing if you're, I don't know what software developer. If you're a programmer, start coding. Uh, like work on your hobby projects on GitHub. Then share your GitHub profile on your LinkedIn as well. Become a member of the relevant community. Would that be software developers? Would that be programmers? If you're a researcher, just search for people who are in similar domain and connect, come to different company events. That helps. And as a programmer, software developer in Finland, there are so many different hackathons, competitions that you can take part in. Also, you can write the attendance there, the attendance and that the hackathons or competitions that you attended, events that you attended on your CV. Stay connected. That helps.
Is it okay to reach out to HRs for work tryouts or pay subsidies afterwards? I can give you an explanation on that.
Yeah,
These are two programs run by the employment office. One means it's a free internship for the company and it's paid through unemployment benefits. And the
yeah.
second one says that the unemployment office pays 50% of the salary. So if, for example, someone went through an interview, it didn't work out, is it okay for them to come back to you?
I would say it's similar answers to the previous. You need to check with the recruiter if they do that, and if there is a requirement. Well, maybe for this one, I will maybe answer this question from a bit different perspective. So basically, I don't want to be too rough answering this, but it's good to check the reasons why exactly you were rejected. So basically, if you were rejected for the when your skills on match the position, I don't know if company will be willing to take you on unpaid. Like, what's the reason for the company to have someone even on this unpaid or the partially paid by the government position? If there is a program, if there is a role like that in the company, then definitely yes. But I believe that you will know about that from the job post. But asking about it, it doesn't hurt. Yes, why not?
Hmm. And what is the most common mistake candidates make in their first interview?
Mm, I would say not being prepared for the first discussion, meaning not reading about the company. That's the biggest mistake that I have seen. No need to be like over prepared, but again, just to check the field or the domain of the company main products, that helps a lot. And then again, being structured, concise, clear. Yeah, those are probably the keys.
What if the interview with CTO or CEO is postponed due to their busy schedule or schedules, and your meeting is not rescheduled? What should be the approach in this type of a situation?
Happens really often, and yeah, I would just write to a recruiter and ask, is it being scheduled? What's the status? Just a kind reminder.
Related to that, imagine someone had an interview with you and you said, okay, we will come back by the end of the week, and you didn't come back to them. Is it okay for people to write back to the recruiter asking, hey, how is it going?
Yes, it's very okay to follow up. But yes, if it's only 1 or 2 days difference, um, then I would wait. But then if it's more than 3 days to what recruiter mentioned, or more than a week, then yes, I think asking for the follow up, it's good. It's okay. It's not wrong.
How flexible is usually the salary range mentioned in the job description? If company mentions 3,500 to 4,000, can I ask for 4,500, for example? Does it make sense?
I think it's good to tell about your target salary. Yes. If you are already having the first discussion with the company, mention that you would want to have, or your target salary is this, and it's based on that current earnings, my current life situation. I don't know if you have a better explanation, then also mention those reasons. And also it's good to mention if that number is out of the salary range that the recruiter mentioned, that is written in the job description, then it's good to say if what's your minimum, and if that range which is mentioned there also okay, but I have a different wish. So yeah, again, nothing wrong about mentioning that you want more.
Is it appropriate to ask how many people are going through the interview process for the given role to understand my chances?
Yes, it's very normal to ask, and most recruiters, if it's defined, will even tell you about that. For instance, I have been told by a few companies how many other people are being interviewed for the role. I think it's good to know, but I cannot say that it's like a key information. I would suggest focusing on your own recruitment process, and yeah, just analyze your own answers, analyze your own steps of interviews, discussions with the recruiters. How does it matter how many people are there? If it really matters, yes, why not? Do ask.
Is it useful to write a personal message to HRs, recruiters with a CV, even if there is no open position in a company?
Mm, I have not seen many positive outcomes from this. So the recruiter or HR or any representative of the company that, let's say, you're targeting or aiming, they don't open those roles. So unless the person is hiring for the role, then there is a slight possibility that this somehow will help. But if there is no open role and you are just writing to a recruiter about your wishes, good maybe to network. Again, it's not wrong, but I don't see how this will help much.
How would you recommend approaching due diligence before application? Is it beneficial? Could you give examples of successful due diligence? That was the question. And from my side, I'm not sure I understand what they mean by due diligence before applications.
And what is meant by this?
Yes, it's not clear to me. Did you understand it?
Before the application,
Yeah.
is it something like is it like a referral stage, or is
If
it
you
like
ask this,
reference or background check?
yeah, if you ask this question and if you'd like to clarify that, please unmute yourself and help us out because neither me nor Marina understood what exactly you meant by due diligence before applications.
I can clarify.
Yes.
Sure. I meant like asking questions about the positions and expectations for the role. So, kind of doing a proactive research and contacting recruiters or hiring managers regarding the position, because I often hear that advice that it's beneficial to kind of be on the radar and at the same time to clarify certain things before sending an application.
Yes, it also might be a bit challenging due to, let's say, again, recruiters and hiring teams' busy schedules. But yes, if you're connected with, again, with the recruiter for the role, or if you're connected with the hiring team, if you're already having any type of discussion with the person, yes, it's okay to ask about the requirements. I would be very selective with the questions that I ask and very concrete.
Well, actually, like in job postings, there is usually time for contacting recruiter or hiring manager. There is even time mentioned, phone number or email, how to contact. So basically, kind of investigating more and asking questions about the job. Or do you see that as a waste of time?
No, that one I don't see. Now I understand. So you mean when there is a time provided from the hiring person in the job post? Yes, that one I have seen. And then if you can somehow book the time with the person who is hiring or just call directly, why not just use it as an opportunity? Because the time is already provided for you. Yes, yes, that one I would definitely use as a chance, and I would encourage anyone who is interested to call and ask questions. But again, I would get really prepared for that call, not just expect that I will call and ask the person, hey, tell me about the role. I will be very specific with my questions. Maybe I will prepare maximum 2, 3 questions to ask, but very concrete.
In roles like branch banking or credit operations, where the work is highly process driven and not always measurable in numbers, how can candidates best demonstrate their impact on a CV?
Actually, I think this process driven is quite measurable, as you can mention how you improved the process if you had a chance to improve it, if you have managed to shorten the time, uh, if you managed to automate any part of the process. So those are things that you should mention there. If you had a chance to introduce a new tool to the team to write any documentation, any guidance, those will be like your measurement criteria. So I have, let's say I have not someone else, I have automated this process, this process, this process. So that's already for me, like quantifying, I have improved 2 or 3 procedures.
And a final question, is it useful to mention in the cover letter your current notice period, your work permit status, and that you're ready to relocate to Finland if you're applying from outside the country?
Relocation, yes, it's good to mention. I would say the visa is quite sensitive. I would follow the job post recommendations. I will read it carefully if there is any relocation offered. So in this cover letter, I would maybe write more like relevant information, and by relevant information, I would mean something that is written in there in the job description and requirement. It's usually quite clear. Yeah, I'm not sure if I answered this question, but do not add the visa type. I feel like it's a personal information. Yeah, add that you are ready for the relocation. If the company supports that, if they have visa specialists, then there will be next steps. Yeah.
Thank you a lot for today. I know you answered so many questions. So, like, are you overwhelmed now? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, and basically my participation today is purely to help other people who are applying for the jobs in any way I can. So yeah, if anyone has more questions, you're more than welcome to write to me on LinkedIn. I would be always happy to help those. As I have mentioned, I'm an expat, and I have also been searching for jobs in Finland. It's not an easy thing, but doable.